Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is Gems of War. And today I have your weekly preview for the week of May 22nd, 2023. So let's get into it with the Soulforge, the World event. We got Guild Wars going on. Just going to be going over everything, the Epic Trials, event key drop table, the Glory Shop, all that good stuff. Let's go. Big boned, new epic troop, the Grave Giant. Get this troop with Glory from the rewards tab of the shop. Got a scoring video, got a team video, go check those out if you just want the quick and easy. Got the teams, 6 minutes, 3 teams, bang, 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 high, mid, low. Got the scoring if you need that. It's like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, easy. Just look at the thumbnail. At least click on the video, though. Guild War, help your guild win the war. Don't forget to set your defenses and fight your daily battles. Storm's Call, experience our new world event with your guild mates. Play world event battles every day to unlock rewards. Ravatar Skull for 48 more days. Kingdom Pass, remember that's like cut in half, so there's only the last week is this week. You can only miss like 2 days if you're free to play. I think you can only miss 2 days. I don't know. Anyway, it's more important to get your crowns every day because they cut it in half, and you can't miss as many days. You can miss like 2 days or something. I think it's actually like 1.8 or something like that, so you can't miss 2 whole days. I'm not sure, but it's around 2 days that you can miss. Try not to miss more than 1 or 2. Week of Stormheim, all Stormheim troops gain 10% of their skills. Week of Giants, all Giants gain 10% of their skills. And bonus souls, use the Grave Giant in PvP and Explore to gain 40 souls. Alright, so let's go check out the Soulforge. You know how we do. Like to do this first thing, because I feel like that's a lot of people get on the game, they go look at the Soulforge, and then they go to like the World event or something. Got Fairy Godmother, Astral Mother. Be cool if it was Mother's Day. The Lord of Slaughter, and Undyne. So Lord of Slaughter is the easy first pick here. Top 10 Mythic, 27 green, blue, red, Wild Plains War Gare Construct. Create 6 brown gems, then convert all brown gems to Doom Skulls, and inflict 1 to 2 bleeds and 1 to 2 death marks on random enemies. So it's a skull spam troop. The cool thing about it, though, is the Savage Strike, the 100% chance to ignore armor with skull damage. So essentially that's true skull damage. It's got a summon a Doomstorm at the start of battle, and reduce damage from skulls by 25%. So be careful with them in first slot. You kind of just, it's like a glass cannon mythic. But it's really good when it works correctly. True damage for skull damage, which is pretty unique. Alright, so between Undyne, Fairy Godmother, and Astral Mother, what would be the next one? Sometimes I hear about some Fairy Godmother teams. I don't really mess with it. I think it's her... She puts a bunch of those wish gems on the board sometimes. It's kind of like a quirky team. Astral Mother's decent, and then Undyne is more of a defensive mythic. None of them are terrible. I can't like pick one and say, well, this is the worst one here. I'm gonna say Astral Mother's second. You can actually use her sometimes in certain world events with certain restrictions, so she's not totally useless, but usually there's something else that's better. 24 yellow, green, purple, Divinion Fields, Divine Centaur. Remove all gems of a chosen color. Deal true scatter damage, boosted by gems removed. So that hits all enemies, and is true damage. 40% chance to give Reflect to a random ally when my turn begins. Reflect isn't that good of a positive status effect, really. I guess Fairy Godmother would be next for those quirky wish gem teams. 22 red, green, purple, Zacian, Fey Goblin. Gain an extra turn and either create 2 to 3 wish gems or deal 37 damage to all enemies boosted by wish gems, or give 37 life to all other allies boosted by wish gems. So the only problem is the or. She could just give a little bit of life to all other allies. Then it takes 22 mana to get her back up again, and then you cast her again, and what if she does it again? She just did nothing for you. So 50% chance to convert a yellow gem to a wish gem when my turn begins. So it's really close with Undyne and Fairy Godmother for 3rd place. So let's go over Undyne now. 20 green, blue, red, Merlantis, Divine Merfolk. Deal damage to an enemy and the next enemy below, boosted by Merfolk and submerged allies. Submerge blue allies, silence blue enemies. Submerge myself at the start of every turn. Defensive for blue day. You silence blue enemies. So when you're going against blue, your defense team, sometimes people put Undyne. I think my defend team has Undyne on it. Because you can silence blue enemies. The whole enemy team is going to be blue. You know what I'm saying? And you can submerge too, so if they're doing like the AoE damage. So it's okay. They're all useful, but the Lord of Slaughter is head and shoulders above everything else here. And then the other three are like down in the middle together. Nothing too special. Okay, let's check out the legendaries. Ursuvius. Sir Quentin Hadley. We just had Guard's Avatar last week. Sometimes this happens and everything works out perfectly. Guard's Avatar last week. Sir Quentin Hadley this week. It's perfect. Urskula, another 50% start troop. Shagra just got a buff. Is actually really good. I use it on my Red Guild Wars team, so shout out to that. Check out my Red... I definitely have videos or live streams using this Red Guild Wars team. It's undefeated so far. I've used it for like 2 or 3 Guild Wars now. And Shagra is on the team. So Shagra got a little buff and a little bump in the rankings from me. So Shagra, Urskula, Sir Quentin Hadley, and Ursuvius. I would say Sir Quentin Hadley's the top. 18 brown, yellow, Sword's Edge, Knight Beast, convert purple gems to yellow and green gems to skulls, deal 40 damage to 2 random enemies. All Knight allies start with 50% mana, reduce damage from skulls by 25%. So it's a legendary. It starts Knights with 50% mana. That's Guard's Avatar, who hits all enemies with AoE damage, boosted by armor. Really good troop here. Also has a good spell that can clean up. So that's always welcomed with a 50% start troop, that it actually does something other than just the 50% start. The only one downside to him is there's not a lot of good knights in the game, so it's pretty much literally only used with Guard's Avatar. So if you don't have Guard's Avatar, you would get Sir Quentin Hadley and hope that you get Guard's Avatar eventually. I'm going to say Shagra's next, honestly, for that Red Guild Wars team. Got a little buff when they did the Broken Spire rework. It's not like a major buff like the Tesla buff, but it was just a slight buff on a troop that was already borderline decent. And now I just think it's just almost good enough. It's pretty good. 14 red, brown, Broken Spire, Elemental Dragon. Create 7 red gems, then convert all red gems to skulls. Burn a random enemy when matching red gems. Deal double skull damage versus burning enemies. So I think I have it at the top of my team. I can't remember. I'll show you the Red Guild Wars team before we get out of here today, if I remember. And we'll check it out. It's elemental though, so you can start. It's elemental, so you can start at 50% with the Mirage Queen, who also is red. So you can see where I'm going with that. I do Hatir and Scroll as the other troop. And then Urskula would be next. 15 yellow-green, Urskaya, Urska Mystic. Deal scatter damage boosted by enraged allies, enrage all allies, and give them 6 attack. 50% start for Urska. So Urska, not the best. It's kind of like, at least Sir Quentin Hadley has Guard's Avatar. With Urskula, there's not like a ton of good Urska. I can't even really think of one right now off the top of my head that it would start. Like King Mikhail, maybe? King Mikhail. Defiance, maybe? Is Defiance a Urska? I don't know. But at least it does scatter damage, it rage all allies, it still does some decent stuff. It's something you want to get eventually. 50% starts. You want to get all the 50% starts. Then Ursuvius isn't bad either. Like, none of these legendaries are bad, but none of them are like... Maybe Sir Quentin Hadley's borderline top 10. It's just like you can get legendaries much easier than you can get mythics. So when you're going to spend diamonds in the Soulforge on a legendary, you want to make sure you need it super bad, and it's like a top 5. 17, red-brown, Urskaya, Elemental Urska. Deal damage to all enemies boosted by burning and enraged allies and enemies. So I would equate this to like an Astral Mother kind of, where every once in a while you might use it because it does damage to all enemies. It can be 50% started by the troop we just went over, or the Mirage Queen. It's just usually there's something better. Just like Astral Mother. Taking a look at the weapons. I don't think there's too much here. I'm using this on one of my world event teams. Explode blue gems, grant a random status effect to all giant allies, and summon a giant troop. Forgot to level it up before I used it in the video, though, if you caught that. Ginormous Cleaver. damage to an enemy boosted by Stormheim allies, then create a mix of blue and yellow for each Stormheim ally. And yeah, there's some other weapons here for collection purposes. For some reason, I don't have the Onyx Blade. I'll have to check that out and make sure I craft it by the end of the week. Deal damage to an enemy, then convert 8 yellow gems to Uber Doom Skulls. It's not too bad. I'll craft it. I'm going to go make sure it's not available somewhere else, which most likely it's not, and then I'll craft it. So that's the Soulforge. Let's say Lord of Slaughter would be number 1. Sir Quentin Hadley would be number 2. And then the weapons, maybe you need the Onyx Blade. And if you don't, check out those other weapons. The Explodey for giant allies be okay. But nothing you can't leave this week without. Let's look at the world event. Jotnar was out of sorts. Undead giants were rising in his realm. We offered to help, hoping to receive some information in return. Defeat enemies in Stormheim and collect their relics to show to Jotnar. So you get spell damage. You want to hit as many enemies as possible. I have a scoring video. Go check it out. Collect all your rewards before you do anything. Because the most important thing during World Event is the medal. I bought up to Tier 2 so far. I might buy more, but this is what I do on Monday. And yeah, do your share. Got a team video also. I'll link the team video at the end of this video. I don't think it works on phones, but if you're watching on like a laptop or your TV, it'll pop up at the end of the video. You can click on it. Alright, let's check out the shop. I feel like I'm doing this in the wrong order or something today. I don't know. The Grave Giant. Make sure you get your Spoils of War, of course. Grave Giant. 12 brown, purple. Stormheim Undead Giant. Deal damage to an enemy. If the enemy is death marked, deal double damage. Then create 2 death mark gems. Doesn't sound too great to me. I like how his eyeballs, it looks like, you see that with the diamonds? That's pretty cool. Comes in with Arcane Skull traitstones. That is purple and brown. Let's go check that out. Purple brown. Purple brown, all colors, base rarity. Show all. So these would be the troops that you could fully trait by going to the glory shop and buying as many purple brown traitstones as you want. That's what you save glory up for in the early game until you have everything traded that you need to trait. Like Archpraxy Avendra, Doom of Arachnia, Conjure and Uber Doomstorm when an enemy dies. You don't really need that, I guess, but it helps a ton. I guess you do need it for her. If you're going to use her, you want to have her fully traded. So, just doing this off the top of my head, so if I forget something. We got Obsidious with the Earthquake, stun all enemies in 4 or 5 gym match. That kind of got replaced by Elementalist class. If you really want to stun, you would use Elementalist class, but sometimes maybe Obsidious needs to be used instead. Ferris Ra with the Necromaster. Once again, something that's antiquated that we don't use very much anymore. But if you're one of those stubborn people that's still soul farming, or you're a very specific person that just can't do Vault events, then Ferris Ra. Is Willow Nisha? No. Ulor has Ancient Chill. Not my favorite. Yasmin's Chosen, Wild Vines, Entangle a random enemy when matching green. Chernabog with the Dust Plume. That's important for the Chalcedony team. You definitely want to have Chernabog on your team fully traded. Glaceon has a 65% damage reduction from skulls. Ice Armor. Judge of the Dead doesn't need his traits. Doesn't Magnus have inflict a random stats effect on 4 or 5 gym matches? That's fun sometimes. It's random though. Bone Golem has that 50% stone skin. Daughter of Ice is Empowered Converter, red to blue. Conjure an Ice Storm. Useful sometimes. And is that it? Might be. The lower you get, the less you need fully traded. So, yeah, that's about it. There's a couple important things there. For sure, you want to get, the Daughter of Ice would be a great one. To make sure you have Magnus, Glaceon, Chernabog, Yasmin's Chosen, Ulor, Ferris Ra, Obsidius, and Arc Proxy Aventra are the ones you're going to look at to see if you need that traitstone to fully trade them. Alright, so we went over the Soulforge, we went over the World Event, we went over the Glory Shop, we went over the traitstone. So now, let's check out the event key drop table. It's Stormheim. There is a good troop in there. But is there enough to throw event keys after we had Pan's Veil and Adana? If you still have event keys left over, then you already have the Wild King, the Wild Queen, Ironhawk, Tina, and multiple Teslas. So I'm pretty sure most people out there don't have any event keys right now, but I'll still go over it, like, in case you do. What am I doing? Alright. Base rarity. We need, Stormheim. And I should probably just show all just in case. Okay, so Mistralis is a really good troop. One of my favorites. So I put her borderline top 10. I think a lot of people do. She's right there at the 10, though. And that's up to you if you want to craft her right now. You would have, like I said earlier, you would have to already have Ironhawk, Wild King, Wild Queen, all that, Tina even, before you would get Mistralis. But if you've been waiting for Mistralis, here she is, and I really like her. 25 blue, brown, yellow, Stormheim, Elemental Fae. Deal splash damage to 1 to 4 random enemies, then jumble the board and gain an extra turn. Enchant all allies on 4 or 5 gem match. Reduce damage from spells by 25%. So it just does a ton of stuff. It's really nice with Sycorax. I do the Psycho Mega Missy team. So it's Sycorax, loop, 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 loop. It gets up your Mistralis. You cast it for free. Loop, 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 loop. Get up your Mistralis, cast it for free. It's like free damage, free jumble. And then you got the Megavore on the bottom. Every time you do the 4 or 5 gym match, it has a chance to instant kill. So really fun. You can mess around with it, put something different on the bottom if you don't have Megavore that does something on 4 or 5 gym match. It's pretty fun. Can't find a different word than fun. Enchant all allies in 4 or 5 gym match is really nice too. Jotnar's not great. He does give a random ally a barrier in 4 or 5 gym match. He's not bad either. He's right in the middle. True damage, but not to one enemy. Hyndla's good. Deal splash damage to an enemy and freeze all affected troops. Summon a giant. Jarl used to be, like, if you get Jarl very, very early, like your first legendary ever when you're level 100 or something, he's okay, but other than that, burn a random enemy in 4 or 5 gym match, create 9 red and 9 yellow gems, and deal damage to an enemy. Baldur's pretty good for you low-level people out there. If you could make a team of, like, 3 Baldurs with a weapon, and he can make a bunch of skulls as long as your weapon is blue, like the Osha's Tome or something. You could do pretty good with a bunch of Baldurs, putting a bunch of skulls on the board. Anything else to mention? Valkyrie's okay. She doesn't get used much anymore, though. There's too many good, like, exploders that get up really fast these days. You got Leprechaun, you got Ogress, you got Harpy Mage, you got Thrall. So these kind of troops don't get used very much anymore, but she used to be meta, believe it or not. That's about all there is to mention. Baldur, Mistralis, Hyndla would be what you were looking for with event keys. Okay, let's go over everything else. My mouth does not want to work today. Alright, so today you're going to be doing that world event, you're going to be doing the Kingdom Pass, you're going to be doing the campaign, you're going to be doing Guild War Sentinels and Defends. It's a very busy day. You definitely want to get a jump on everything because you're going to have to do Guild Wars battles from Tuesday to Sunday. So Monday's the day where you kind of knock out at least your campaign and get a nice jump on the world event, because you don't want to be stuck. Maybe one day you can't play very much and you have to do Guild Wars, and then you don't have time to do other things. So you really want to get a jump on that you want to get the campaign all the way done so you get your stats for Guild Wars. It's like a must to get your campaign done on Monday this week. And then got to do the Kingdom Pass because you can't miss more than 1 or 2 days or you won't get all rewards. So you pretty much have to do that, but you can do that throughout. Well, you have to do that today. You have to get your 10 crowns unless you're going to use it as your day, your one day. So today's pretty busy. You got to get certain things done. Campaign Pass, Kingdom Pass, and then got to set your defense. You got to set your sentinels. So there's certain things that you have to do today. And then you want to get a jump on that world event because you have to do the Guild Wars battles every day if you're in a guild, a decent guild at least. If you're not in a decent guild and you say, well, I don't have to do mine every day, well, then you need to get into a better guild. You're in a crappy guild. And then Tuesday, Faction Assault for, is it Frostfire Keep, I think? Wednesday, Zephyros' Cloud. Thursday, you got Titan class, one of the best classes in the game, definitely top 3. First class in the game, you should probably get to 100. It's very useful from beginning to end. It's kind of like Rowan. Rowan's useful from the beginning to the end of the game, so is Titan class. They're similar. Then this weekend, we got Bounty. Bounty's the best, second best single player event in the game just because of potential rewards. You get 2 major orbs and some of the smaller orbs as well. So potentially 2 glory orbs, potentially 2 minion orbs, potentially 2 purples or 2 whatever you need. Like, it's really, really good. You got to judge it based on before you open the orbs and not after. If you say, well, I got all green orbs, that wasn't worth it. Well, it's RNG. You could have got all glory. You could have got all minions. You got to think about it beforehand and not after. So just because in the last bounty event you got a bunch of crappy orbs doesn't mean you shouldn't do this one because you could get awesome orbs. Okay, so that's everything going on. Guild Wars, of course, going on all week. Chatathon, of course, this weekend, most likely Saturday morning. Faceless One said he would be there early. Anybody else? Anybody else? But I love the RSVP, though. Shout out to Faceless One. Okay, so what do we go over next? We got the campaign, and we got the Epic Trials. They changed the Epic Trial team, by the way, so everything I did over the weekend with the other trial team, down the toilet. Let's check out the adventure board. Nothing good. You want to get that glory. I just do it every day anyway. Campaign. Let's see if they... Yep, they caved. They didn't make it PvP this week. Too much complaining. Blue Slayer, that's going to be easy. Brawler. All this stuff, you might as well not even look at this. You're just going to get it done as you play. So make sure you get it done today, though. I guess this week is not a good week to say that. But any other week, if it was these 3, you're just going to get it done as you play. It might as well not even be here. So go collect your rewards. Get it done today, though, this week. But if those 3 were there any other week, you would just not even look at it. It's not even there, basically. You just go collect it after a couple days. People complain and complain and complain until stuff is just Legos. The Lego game. Star Wars Legos. When you die, you just pop right back up where you died. Too many loud minority out there. Alright, is that everything? Except for the Epic Trials? We could look at the kind of off my game today. I don't know what's up. At least on this video. I was fine for the teams and the scoring. Okay, so glory, ingots, gems. Did have to wake up at 4 a.m. Death rights. Explode a column, create a deathmark gem for each skull or purple gem in the chosen column. Bleh. But that's what we're getting. What's the stat? Dummy. HP. So not that great. But might as well have every stat you can get for Guild Wars. Of course with Guild Wars you want to set your defense, set your sentinels. Let me show you that red team with the Shagra, since I said I would. Then we'll go over the trials. Here it is. Shagra, Flail of Guard, Hatir and Scroll, the Miraji Queen. It's undefeated so far. Since I'm saying that so much today, it's probably going to lose this week. It's just how my life is. Let me show you. Here's the team code if you want to take a screenshot or copy it down or just remember the troops. Elementalists, of course. Double red, yellow, minus green. It's really good so far. It's been undefeated. You just got to be careful. Make sure there's skulls next to red when you cast this. Make sure green turns to purple and gets an extra turn when you cast this. Make sure there's yellow. This turns all yellow gems to Doom Skulls. So make sure you have alignment for that, where you would get an extra turn. Same thing here. If you cast this, make sure all the green turns to skulls and makes an extra turn. So you're looking for extra turns. If you can't just cast whenever you want. You have to cast when you have alignment. And if you do that and you're careful, you'll win. Let's check out the trials. They changed the team. They caved on that too. So they caved on the PvP thing. You should do PvP anyway, but it is Guild Wars week, so maybe that's better. Where are we at? It is Stormheim, right? So it's up here. I don't know if I'm gonna... I guess I'll run the battle. It does make the video way longer, though. We got the Sapphire Giant. 13 blue, brown, Stormheim Elemental Giant. Deal damage to an enemy, then convert 5 red gems to blue giant gems. That's kind of hard to get an extra turn on, but sometimes it does happen. Create a blue giant gem when I take skull damage. Reduce damage from skulls by 50%. Inflict frozen when doing skull damage. I'm going to guess that the enemy team can't be frozen too much, though. Valkyrie, transform a selected mana color to blue. Gain 47 souls. Bonus blue mana from blue gem matches, so that's pretty nice. Hyndla's the thing that's going to win for you, or at least keep you alive and in the battle. Deal splash damage to an enemy and freeze all affected enemies. Summon a giant troop. So that summon is going to be useful. Skymere the Lofty, 14 purple yellow, Stormheim Elemental Giant, cleanse and barrier an ally and give them 110 life, move them to the front of the team. So that's kind of annoying, actually, because you'd probably want to cast that barrier on Hyndla. But then she would get moved to the front, which you don't really want. But I guess you could cast him again and move somebody else to the front. So I don't know. That's okay if you have an emergency situation. Or you could just cast it on the Sapphire Giant to make it tougher. Yeah, the Sapphire Giant's going to be your tank. You want to protect Hyndla at all costs. It's probably already in the correct order. Skymere the Lofty is the worst troop on the team. Valkyrie's your mana generator. Sapphire Giant's your tank. Hyndla is the thing that's going to kill and keep you alive, so you want her in third slot. Valkyrie will make a ton of blue. We can try it real quick. This never goes real quick, does it? So this is the first time I've seen this team other than the scoring video. They changed it at the last second. It was a different team Sunday. So this is the first time I've seen this team. So maybe things will change as we get deeper and deeper into the epic trials. But this is my first impression. This is what I would say you should start with, this team order. And getting up Hyndla and casting her. Maybe cast Skymere the Lofty on your first slot here. And he's your tank. So let's match some blue. So we got extra. Read all about it. So he does 5 red gems to blue giant gems. So if there was a bunch of red and blue next to each other, that's when you would cast that. Otherwise, I think I'm going to try to get up either Valkyrie or Hyndla. So that would be red, yellow, green, and blue. See if we can get Valkyrie up, maybe. What was the banner? The banner was all blue too, right? So anytime you see blue, you definitely want to take it. Skulls is always good, so they don't hit you with them. So I'm looking for blue. Blue would be, for sure, what we want to take. And we don't have any blue troops right now. So with Hyndla, I guess, who's the most dangerous over here? They didn't change the enemy team. Probably the Fire Giant and the Jarl together is dangerous. So you might want to start shooting your Hyndla on Fire Giant. That way you can hit. You don't want to shoot Jarl, because then you won't get the most out of the cast. Hyndla does splash damage, so you want to either hit 2 slot or 3 slot. So you can hit the most troops. So Fire Giant and Jarl are the 2 most dangerous because they could loop together. So you want to hit Fire Giant so you can hit as many enemies as possible while also hitting Fire Giant and Jarl. Looks like they can be frozen. That's cool. We got this right here, why not? It's a lot of mana. We got a double blue banner. We get extra blue with Valkyrie. And then a blue giant gem on top of that. That was crazy. Alright, let's cast Hendla again. Keep casting right here until that fire giant goes down. Of course they hit Hendla. So this transforms any color to blue. So as long as you can find a color where if you turn it to blue and make an extra turn, which you can look at like, okay, we got 13 brown, so I'm gonna look at brown. Any blue next to brown. So we don't have it though. I don't think we have an extra turn. So you would hold the Valkyrie in this case. So I don't see anywhere we can cast it and get an extra turn, so you just hold it. So let's just cast this. We'll go Fire Giant. Maybe I should have done Jarl with this guy. Alright, is there anywhere for Valkyrie now? Now that the board has changed up a little bit? No, let's just do this then. It's a lot of mana. Got Hendla. Just make sure there's no extra turns. There is up there. But we were frozen, so I made a mistake there. Hendla on Fire Giant. We could change green. I'm just gonna take the skulls first, though. Let's change green. We got Hendla. Making sure I don't have an extra turn or anything. Keep casting her on Fire Giant till it dies. I don't have the right medals on right now. I think I still have my World Event medals on, so this would go much faster for you. I'm still gonna win even with no medals on, though, I betcha. So our tank is starting to take some damage. And we don't want it to go down, so I might cast that Skymere the Lofty on him. But first, Hendla. And if we have alignment, I'm going to cast Valkyrie, or if we have a bunch of blue next to red. We got it right here, but the chances that this turns to a blue giant gem, and it still wouldn't be an extra turn. So let's do this. Hendla is the most important. There we go. Now I'd probably go all in on Jarl, because everything else I'm not that worried about. Actually, maybe you would go to the Frost Giant, because we've been hitting the Frost Witch, the Ice Witch, this whole time with skulls. Are we frozen on green? No. Okay. And let's do this, since he's almost dead. It gives a lot of HP. We're frozen on yellow, so don't do that. Let's go ahead and cast this. I'm gonna try to kill her. I feel like it's gonna be easier to take her out than Jarl. And now that the Fire Giant's gone, Jarl isn't as dangerous. We're still frozen on yellow. So blue would be great. They use yellow too, and they're not frozen on yellow, so I'm gonna take it. But you wanna, when you're frozen, and most of y'all know this, but when there's an extra turn and you're frozen on that color, you wanna take the 3-match, not the 4-match. A 4-match is always gonna be 4 mana. A 3-match could surge and get more than 4. So since you're not gonna get an extra turn anyway, try for the surge. Maybe somebody out there learned something off of that. Purple and yellow. Alright, come on, Valkyrie. Don't let me down. Give me some alignment here. I don't see it. Maybe we do it anyway on yellow. We can get these giant gems, get a bunch of mana. Let's take the skulls. Still trying to get that Ice Witch down. Bang, 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 bang. That was nice. Let's keep going. I'm gonna go after him, since he's almost dead. Let's just get him out of here. Got the green extra turn. Got the skull extra turn. Got the brown. What else does he do? Inflict frozen when doing skull damage. Alright, Hindla, probably. Get this right here. Hindla hits for 92. How much does he hit for? Don't get to see, because we won. We had no medals there, too. I think I had one Nisha, maybe. So you would definitely... Let's go change our medals so you know what to use. You would go with, probably one Anu and 2 Nisha. So you see it's not that hard, I just beat it with no medals on, basically. But I think that's everything for today. We went over the world event, we went over the Soulforge, the glory shop, the event key drop table, the traitstone, the epic trial, the campaign. I even showed you a Guild Wars team. So, like, share, subscribe, consider joining. It helps a lot. Tell your guild about the channel, comment below. I'll have that faction team video for you tomorrow at Reset. I'll have a live stream on Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. EST, maybe slightly earlier, now that the kids are out of school. And we'll finish up the epic trials during that live stream. It's fun. You should come. Chatathon this weekend, probably Saturday at 5 a.m. If not, though, it'll be Sunday at 5 a.m. 75% chance it's Saturday, 25% chance it's Sunday. Faceless One already signed up. Anybody else that wants to sign up and take some anxiety away from me, that'd be great. Because it's $1 every 3 minutes, $5 every 15. First hour's free. It's like our 10th chatathon. I don't even know. How many has it been now? I gotta check it out. I think it's like our 10th one. It's pretty crazy. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, I'll see you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Peace out.